I was showing 4-H calves at our county fair and rodeo, and his family was producing the rodeo, and we were both 15, and I met him through my brothers, and I was showing calves, and he said he liked my calves. He was deployed before he got married. So I was in college, had a semester left when we got married. He had 2 years of college and then went into the Marine Corps, and we got engaged before he left for deployment to Vietnam, and then we got married a few months after he came back, after he was injured and came back. Both of us had no idea how much he had changed. And I was very naive, never been around anybody that had, gone to war. I had an uncle that was killed in World War II, but, and heard some of those stories, and, but I didn't know what to expect at all. We were married a long time before we saw a movie, Saving Private Ryan, and figured out what was going on, that he had post-traumatic stress. We were married 10 years, and then Ken came to a relationship with the Lord, and then it was after that I did. And so just through Bible studies and devotions and prayer, that's how we didn't ever have any counseling or anything. We were mentored by a lot of strong Christians that helped us through the process. But then after we discovered, realized it was post-traumatic stress, we didn't really have anybody that helped us through that part of it. We just kind of read materials and learned on our own on that way, and kind of helped explain what was going on. We were really kind of on our own to figure it out. He went to the VA for different things, but as far as emotional support, there wasn't anything like that there, really. I grew up in a mainline church, so I had the head knowledge, but it wasn't until I saw the changes in Ken and we got into a Bible study that I realized I needed a relationship with him and not just the head knowledge. It had to make a heart move. So, and that was when we'd been married, maybe 15 years or something like that before I came to that realization. So that foundation, helped as we struggled through different things. He had a man that discipled him, and then we started going, we got involved, actually helped start a Bible church, and it was through that the changes came about. We will be married 54 years in August. So our children were, it probably was 40 years ago. Well, not quite, almost 40 years ago. Ken was always a workaholic. You had to have a purpose for everything. He always made sure the kids were busy working or something as early as they could be. Didn't want them wasting time. Fortunately, we didn't have the electronics then that they have now, and we weren't big movie or TV watchers and stuff. And the kids were always involved in, our son was always involved in a lot of sports, and the kids had a lot of friends, and we entertained a lot, had a lot of visitors. We were involved with a nonprofit, and so we had a lot of different people in our homes, and they learned hospitality and transparency. One thing they learned from Ken was a lot of transparency, and a lot of wisdom he gave them. And so, we had some struggles with some of them, but they're resolved now, and we have a good relationship with all the kids, and Ken has a very good relationship with all the kids. It's been that way quite a while. There was just some tension a little bit in high school with our oldest daughter, but that got resolved, and so yeah, we're very thankful for our family. We've stayed intact. When we were married and going through this early on, we didn't know people that were divorced, which sounds crazy now, but we didn't. And if I'd gotten a divorce, my mother would have said, you made your bed, go lay in it, So you just hung in there. And God, I think he probably protected me from a lot of things I didn't know was going on. And so that's probably what saved our marriage. Well, as you get into scriptures, you see how much the Lord has forgiven you, and I realize how much he's forgiven me for a lot of things. So we have to show that same forgiveness when we've been hurt, and the grace he's shown us, we need to show others. And sometimes that's hard to forget that. And so he arranges things that remind you of the grace he's shown us so that we can show it to others. I would say that without a relationship with the Lord, it's going to be really tough. And the important thing is to get into the scriptures and devotions. And I'm still learning a lot. I make a lot of mistakes yet. So, just turn the scriptures for hope, and to the Holy Spirit to give you strength each day.